Everybody, welcome to the South Campus show. This week I find myself at St. John the Baptist in Jordan, Minnesota, with his pastor, Father Neil Baker. Welcome, Neil.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Father Bob, sorry.
Any way you want, Neil. So Neil, I was explaining, I've talked to a number of priests in our deanery. What deanery are you in?
Don't even ask me that question. I don't
Deanery
know.
number
9?
The one across the river. That's it.
Yeah,
I think you are. I think
this is 9, isn't it? It's Faribault and Belle Plaine and New Ulm all the way down.
You cover some ground there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're a little more.
I think it's 9.
Yep. But across the river.
Yep.
And so, you've how long have you been ordained? When did you get ordained?
I was ordained in 2016. So it's been this will be my 6th year, and my 3rd year. I'm I've had 3 years under my belt here, in my 4th year.
Okay.
At St. John's.
So 6 years. So you pretty well learned it all, huh?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
There's a learning curve, by the way, being pastor, as you know. It's steep, arduous, and ongoing.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. Truly.
It's like the yodeler on The Price is Right? You just fall off the end at some point.
Good metaphor. But so where are you from?
I'm from Austin, Minnesota.
Okay.
Yep.
Hormel country?
Yep.
Yes.
I grew up in Austin.
Wow.
Lived there until I was 18.
Okay. What? How'd you get interested in priesthood?
Well, so I am a second vocation person. I worked in the business world for 10 years in information technology. And, sorry, that's my phone. It will never stop. I worked for 10 years in the information technology business and had a conversion to the faith. I'm a convert as well. I grew up Methodist, but I really like to say that I kind of didn't grow up anything. I was Methodist in name only.
Okay.
And converted to the faith, and then was working with a couple of great priests, Father John Paul Erickson and Father Joseph Johnson, at the cathedral, and thinking about this priesthood thing. And then they and Father Tom Wilson suggested that I maybe go live with a priest for a while and see if it fits in well. And so I lived with Father Skuzacek for a year.
St. John the Baptist?
Yeah. In New Brighton. And learned a lot from him. He's a model pastor, a great man. And so then that was enough. I always tell people that, you don't go into the seminary thinking you're going to become a priest. I mean, you have an idea that that's kind of the path, but, that's just the next step. And then there's a million next steps along the way.
Oh, yeah.
And then finally you find yourself there going, okay, well, I guess this was supposed to be it. Because I took all those steps.
You've had some good mentors along the way. That's really important. And your first assignment was at Our Lady of Grace.
It was.
Kevin Finnegan, another good mentor.
Yeah.
So, but there's something about stepping off the high dive and jumping into the waters of being pastor too. How have you found that?
2 years of priesthood, you're willing but never ready in the church, right? So you're always willing to do what the bishop says, but you're never really ready for it.
You get ready doing it, actually.
Yeah.
On-the-job training.
And then it's over. Then you go on to your next thing that you try to learn how to do. It's been complicated and difficult and very rewarding at times. I came into a situation with our school being in very dire straits and needing a lot of work, and so I identified that as one of my top priorities, having to dive into that, and so worked really hard at that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I think you were telling me the other day it's come back.
It's come back considerably. When I started here, we had 90 students, and right now we have 170 enrolled in just 3 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's not the case with many of our Catholic schools are
Right.
struggling a bit more. So wonderful
Yep.
and good work on that.
Good.
What else are you learning as pastor? Last 3 years.
The value of a good pastoral council, parish council, and seeking their input and guidance, and good trustees, and that you raise money all the time. You never stop, but that's just part of the thing, right? I mean, you have
to be
to,
out of school.
yeah, you have to do it. So, yeah, especially when you have a school, you're always raising money. Because there's always a need right around the corner.
Yeah. You didn't know fundraising was in the job description.
I learned it while I was at Our Lady of Grace that it was in the job description, but
Yeah.
no, they didn't tell me that in seminary.
Yeah. I always think the seminary is learning how to be a priest, and then there's learning how to be a pastor as a priest. And
Right.
They're quite different, you know.
Yes, and the Lord really does put that pastoral charity on your heart as you take on that office to care for everyone. So, there are people who have, maybe not agreed with things that I've done or way I've done things. And yet, I wish it was easier to write people off. You can't, not in your heart, you just like, oh, I still yearn for them to, it's not.
That
tough.
really is, I feel good when I hear you say that, because that, to me, is right at the heart of parish ministry.
Yeah.
Walking with the people and being patient and hanging around for those who are taking their time and trying to figure it out.
Right. Yeah, I always say my door is open.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Beautiful.
So we may not disagree on something, but let's talk it out and let's figure it out and we'll work together and, we'll find middle ground.
Yeah. Nice. But I also hear by your reputation, you're quite a cook. Don't be modest now.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite? What's your favorite dish or things you like to cook?
Things I really like to cook are French food and Italian food.
Okay.
Because it's really close to the earth, and I'm not a highfalutin kind of person. I've done some things in that area, but not. But I just am more interested in peasant food. taking a cheap cut of meat and making something amazing out of it.
Wow.
So,
like they do in some of those cook shows,
Yeah.
The challenge. But you name me a favorite dish.
Coq au vin.
Okay.
So that's a chicken cooked for a long time in wine, and good mushrooms and good onions and shallots and and then served over some mashed potatoes or something like
Nice.
that. Yeah.
Making my mouth water.
Yeah. I kind of fell into it because I cooked a lot for myself and other people in seminary, and then when I was at Our Lady of Grace, they caught on to that and they exploited it, which is just fine for fundraising
purposes, of course.
So which was great. And so we had at one of the galas, we sold 2 dinners for $10,000 a piece. And one of the dinners was just a small, intimate one at a house, and then the other one was a big dinner with, I think there were 28 or 30 people there, and that was a lot of fun. We threw a big party, and it was really cool. Yeah.
You got to know what you're doing. Well, that's the big time.
I don't think I did. You fake it till you make it.
Yeah. I'm in a bit of a situation myself. Only the difference is, unlike you, I'm really not a cook, but I promised a meal, so I'm gonna maybe calling you for suggestions. But I've got my meal figured out. But but it's about meal hospitality too. It's a ministry in itself.
It is, absolutely. I love to feed people. I mean, that's something you do as a father and as a pastor. You feed people. Yeah. Heart, mind, soul.
So it goes from a survival skill to actually a fellowship offering, And
it's partaking in God's creation, because He's constantly creating. It's not a past tense. He didn't create. He's creating. He's the creator. And so when we can take the things of the earth, the things that He's given, and through His inspiration and guidance, manipulate them into something beautiful that other people love, and that's an amazing thing.
Take from God's creation and make your own creation with
Yeah.
with presenting a meal. That's awesome. But Neil, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
And
You bet.
it's good getting across the river, and it's farther than I thought because we kind of got lost in right there.
Yeah.
Down 11, and then somehow we found our way to Jordan. But
Yeah.
keep up the good work. I love it about the school,
Yeah.
and that's great.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah. Thanks.
Nice
for
having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.